Good morning, student. Today, in my video, I will be teaching you about the social life, about food, shelter, clothing, and social life. But before this, in this chapter, the four stone ages, I was discussing about Paleolithic age, and if you remember, I explained you about making of stone tools and their uses, like what is a flint stone, what is a hatchet. Then the stone tools found in Paleolithic sites, Bhimbetka, Hansgi, and Kurnool. Then about the discovery of fire, how fire was discovered. It was by accident. While rubbing two pieces of flint stone, a spark was produced, and then in this way fire was discovered. And the advantages of fire, the four advantages: fire was used to provide light in the dark, then it made the caves warm, then fire was kept burning at the entrance of his caves to frighten away the wild animals, and fire was used to cook meat. So these are the four advantages. I hope you have understood up to here, and you have written some insight questions, like I told you to write about the three Paleolithic sites, about the discovery of fire, about advantages of fire. Okay, now in my this video I will be explaining you about the food which the early man used to eat, that is during the Paleolithic age. We know that the early man, they did not know how to grow food. They were not farmers. So farming or growing crop was unknown at that stage, and people did not know to grow. So mainly for food, they were dependent on hunting. They used to hunt small birds or animals in the forest, and also they were gatherers, food gatherers. That is, they used to roam from one place to another in the forest in search of wild fruits. So the Paleolithic humans did not know how to grow food. They were mainly hunters and food gatherers. Then about shelter, that is where they used to live, and shelter mainly is to protect themselves from the wild animals or from the harsh weather climate. So the Paleolithic humans did not know how to build house. Okay, today we make our own house. Okay, we stay in the house, but at that time, the early man, they did not know how to make or construct or build a house. So they were not living in house, but at the same time, they could not live on the ground as well. Why? Because on the ground, ferocious animals, lions, tiger, and other animals, they used to roam, and so it was very dangerous for them to live on the ground, because these animals were very strong and ferocious, and the early man could not fight with them. So then where they will live? Yes, that is on trees. Okay, so initially he lived in the trees to protect himself from wild animal. Okay, so this was the purpose why they used to live. But living on the tree was not easy, because for food, for hunting or for gathering, they had to come down from the trees. And so when they used to come down, again there was danger of ferocious animals. So they started looking for some hiding place where they can hide from the animals, wild animals. So while this, they found some caves, okay, or the hollows of the trees where they can hide. So later on, he started living in caves. So this is how first they used to live on trees. Then from trees they came down and they started living in caves. So in this way, the early man started living in caves. In India, Paleolithic caves have been found in the Vindhyas and the Deccan Plateau close to the Narmada Valley. Narmada is a river. Okay, and this Vindhya and Satpura range or the Deccan Plateau, it is in the present day, if you see the map of India, it is in Maharashtra and parts of Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so there these Paleolithic caves have been found where the early man used to live. Then about clothing. So the early man, in the beginning, they did not wear any clothes. Okay, because they lived naked. without clothes. But during the harsh weather, like during the winter season when it was very cold, they used to shiver with cold, and so they wanted to cover their body. So but clothes was not there. Okay, today we have woolen clothes, we can cover our body and get the warmth. But at that stage, the early man, they did not have any clothes. So they used to during the winter time, they used to cover their body with leaves. Okay, with the tree leaves which was fallen or which they can pluck from the trees. But it was not easy for the, so they looked for barks. Okay, the bark, the skin of the trunk, okay, the bark, that portion was taken out to cover their body, but that was also not easy. Then when they hunted the small animals like deer or any animal, then they found the skin, animal skin. So with the skin they used to wrap their body. Okay, so in this way they started covering their body. You can see over here in this picture that this man is covering his body with the skin of some animals. Okay, so let's see over here clothing. For many years the Paleolithic man remained naked. Okay, in the beginning they did not used to cover their body. Later on they used tree leaves or tree barks and animal skins to cover themselves. Did you understand? Okay, then about social life. Okay, social life, society, social, this word have been taken from society, that is where people live. So early humans lived in small groups. Okay, maybe group of 20 or 30. uh, why they used to live in groups? Because we know that in unity there is strength. And at that time the early man, the main focus was that how to keep themselves safe from wild animal, that is protection. So when if they live in group, then it becomes easy for them to fight with the wild animal or to protect themselves. So this is why they used to live in small groups, particularly to protect themselves from wild animals. They did not live a settled life but were essentially nomads. Okay, so they did not live a settled life. Settled life means in one place they did not live for many days or for a few months, but they always used to keep changing their place because they were hunter and gatherer. So in hunting and gathering, you cannot stay at one place. You have to run after the wild animals from one place to another, or from one in one season to another season. You have to go to some other place where you can get the fruits. Okay, to gather. So that is why they were nomadic. They were nomad people, and they did not live a settled life. Then they wandered from one place to another in search of new source of food, seasonal fruits and animals for hunting and water. Okay, so this was the thing, for food, for water. Okay, they used to wander from one place to another. Okay, so they were wanderers or they were nomads. So this is about the social life, that they lived in a small group. So in this video, what did we learn? We learned about the food. Okay, how they were hunter and gatherers. Then shelter, that is from trees to caves. And then clothing, earlier they were naked, and then slowly they used the leaves or the barks or the skin. Then social life, they used to live in small groups to protect themselves. They were nomadic people. Okay, they used to wander in search of new sources of food, fruits, animals, and water. Okay, so up to here I take up in this video. Then in my next video I will explain you about art and painting, religious belief, and then I will start Mesolithic age. In the meantime, I want that you should read this chapter, underline the main points, write in your copy. Okay, and learn it. Okay, because questions will be from inside the lesson, so you have to prepare from inside the lesson. So write inside questions as I am telling you all these points, right? Make your own questions and write the answer, and if possible then I will correct your copy. Okay, thank you.